All right, now when you decide to take a loan from a financial institution, be it a bank or a SACCO, there are two things that you should always be careful with. And the first thing is the interest rate, and the second thing is the repayment period. The interest rates and the repayment period. For example, there are some individuals who take loans from banks or SACCOs and they say, I want to pay for a longer period of time. Because when you pay for a longer period of time, you are most likely to be paying a small installment per month. But when you pay for a shorter period of time, you normally pay a higher installment. But what should be the basis, or what should you use to make a decision to decide whether you are going to pay a loan for a longer period of time or a shorter period of time? Should it be interest rates? Should it be the repayment period, or what should guide you so that you can know which is the most suitable way of paying a loan? Now, for example, if this person called George approaches John, who is the financial advisor, and asks John, I want to take a loan from a bank, or I want to take a loan from a SACCO of 2 million Kenya shillings. And I'm not sure whether I should pay this loan with 5 months, because the SACCO or the bank has given me an option of paying the loan with 5 years, not 5 months, 5 years and 3 years. So I am in a dilemma and I don't know, should I pay this loan with 3 years or should I pay this loan with 5 years? Me, I am not going to care what is the purpose of that loan. Maybe unataka kununua gari, or you want to boost your business. Now, but the thing is, me, I want to help you to know which is the best way. Should you pay with 5 years or should you pay with 3 years? Before I do this, remember, the longer the repayment period, it means the interest is going to charge on that repayment period. That means you are going to pay a higher interest. But if you pay with a shorter period of time, then the interest is going to be lower because you have paid for a shorter period of time. Now, I am going to do an illustration here to demonstrate so that I can help George to decide whether he is going to pay the loan with 3 years or 5 years. And I'm going to do a very good illustration. And if you want to find out, then you should stay with me in this particular video. Now, we have George here. Has decided to take a loan of how many? 2 million. Remember, our interest rate is equals to 14%. And we are starting with N is equals to 3 years. Now, first, I'm going to do for 3 years, and then we do for 5 years, and then we decide which one is the best depending on the interest rate that we are going to pay. Now, our installment here is equals to be loan amount, which is equals to be 2 million, then divided by present value, interest factor of an annuity, R in percentage, N in years. All right. Now, remember our R is 14%, our N is 3 years. Then our installment is equals to be 2 million divided by our present value interest factor of an annuity is equals to 1 minus 1 plus R, which is equals to 0.14. Then we raise this one to negative 3. Then we divide by 0.14. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can do this calculation with me very fast, we are going to obtain 1.14 raised to power negative 3 is equals to, then 1 minus answer, then divided by 0.14. All right, that is, then we multiply by, that is 2 points. So that this one is going to be 2 million divided by, all this goes to, adds up to 2.3216. Now, if you divide this, you are going to get an amount of, now, this one, 2 million divided by answer, you get, oh, not that, 2 million divided by 2.3216, you get 475. Now, this one is an installment of a whole year, ladies and gentlemen. Now, divide this one by 12 to obtain an installment of 1 month. All right. So an installment of a monthly installment is equals to, divide this one by 12. Divide by 12, you get 71,789. Now, if George decides to take the loan for 2 million for 3 years to repay with 3 years, then George is going to pay a total installment of monthly installment of 71,789. So at the end of 3 years, George will have paid 71,789 per month times 36 months, which is equals to be, so times 36 here, that is 2.6 million. 2.6 million. George will have paid a total amount of 2.6 million. If you look closely, then our interest is 600,000. Fantastic. Our interest is 600,000. Now, let's pay this loan with 5 years. Let's pay this loan with 5 years. Now, our installment is equals to 2 million divided by our present value interest factor of 100. I'm just going direct to this. 1 minus 1 plus r, 0.14. This is 0.14 raised to power negative 5 divided by 0.14. So our installment is equals to 2 million divided by, let's do that, 1.14. This one is raised to power negative 5. Then 1 minus answer. Then divide by 0.14. So this one is 3.4331. So if you get this, we are going to get an amount of 2 million divided by answer. So this is 567. Divide this one by 12 months to get an installment of 1 month. So monthly installment here is equals to, divide by 12. This one is going to be 48,547. So if George decides to take a loan of 2 million to repay with 5 years, then George is going to pay a monthly installment of 48,547. Of course, you see there is a difference. Paying with 3 years, you pay a higher interest. You pay a higher monthly installment. But paying with 5 years, you pay a lower monthly installment. But look at the wonders here. So George, at the end of 5 years, he will have paid 48,547 times how many? 60 months. And this one is a total of times 60 months is 2.9 million. 2.9 million. All right. So remember, in our first installment, in our first scenario where George was paying with 3 years, George is at the end of the repayment period, George pays a total of I'm just rounding off the figures here. Of course, it's not exactly 2.6 million. It's around 2,500,000 and something thousand, 580 something. I've just rounded off, and even here I've just rounded off. So George pays a total of interest is equals to 600,000, but in 5 years repayment, interest is going to be 2.9. That is 900,000. Now, what is the difference? Now, here the installment, I need you to get here. The installment is higher, but the interest is lower. But here the installment is lower, but the interest is higher by 900k minus 600k, which is equals to 300k. So, John, as the financial advisor, what would you advise George? Should George pay with 3 years or 5 years? Now, if it was me, I would prefer paying with 3 years, a higher installment, but low interest, instead of paying for a longer period of time and then I end up paying an interest of almost 1 million. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? If it were you, what would you prefer? And that question I've posed to you, I want you to put it on the comment section. Would you pay with 3 years or 5 years? Even you, I want you to advise George. Would you pay with 3 years? Remember, our interest is 600,000, or 5 years, our interest is 900,000. Be the judge of today. All right. Thank you so much for watching that video. I hope I have helped someone. Until we meet in our next in our next video. Have a nice time. More is coming. Thank you.